Happy wrestling, everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Honor POV. That's right, I can still do that because Britt Baker did wrestle in Ring of Honor. I am your host, Kimmy Sokol. That's right, they trusted me with my own show on this network. I don't know why, but we're here. And I am joined by none other than my K-Squared Observer co-host, Kyle Masters.
Yeah, I'm in
Hi.
the co-host chair. Look above me. It says co-host chair. I'm in the co-host chair.
Yeah, so guys, we never know who's gonna be my co-host. There's some weeks that maybe it'll just be me, maybe it'll be Kyle, maybe it'll be Jackie, maybe it'll be Phil, or maybe I'll be joined by a special guest. You never know what's gonna happen on Honor POV.
I did it too.
But Kyle, oh good. I'm glad we synced up. Kyle, how are you, sir?
I'm feeling honored.
To be here?
Yeah, to be here.
Well, I don't know.
Honored to do the very first episode of this because we've been talking about Honor PV. I mean, we kind of joked about it for a while, and then like when Ring of Honor started to get serious and serious talks, we're like, yeah, you know what? We're probably actually going to do it. So this is the first episode, Honor POV, talking all things Ring of Honor and nothing else. So
Yes. So that's why I was brought in, guys. The only reason I joined the Elite POV kind of brand is to do this show. This is what I was told. So we're here. My purpose has been met. And we are starting off pretty special because the first Ring of Honor show is the Jay Briscoe tribute show, which is also on YouTube and Honor Club. And they are for free. So you can go and watch it for free. You don't have to buy Honor. I'll ask for overall thoughts first, Kyle. What did you think of the show overall?
it was good. It was tough to watch just because like some of the when they were doing those backstage interviews, like asking like what they like their memories of Jay, like some of them were pretty tough to watch. Like Samoa Joe was like bawling his eyes out, and it was just it was cool to see like the old Ring of Honor matches that they showed, like the really old one. The one that I thought was really cool was the Briscoes against the Kings of Wrestling, which I totally forgot was even a team. Claudio Castagnoli and Chris Hero. Back when Claudio had hair, totally forgot he had hair too. When he wasn't bald then, could barely recognize him in that footage. Oh my god, it was so old. Like even the Briscoes look extremely young. Then like there was the cool match of Jay and Adam Cole for the Ring of Honor World Title, which I had no idea that Jay even had the world title up until that video. Yeah, twice.
He
He's a
had it
two-time
twice.
champion. So it was really cool, and I liked the way that they honored him. Even with, like they asked, I believe he would have asked the crowd to stay behind so they could tape that, and good on the crowd staying behind it and being fired up for all those matches. It was really cool, and this being the first Ring of Honor kind of show under the Tony Khan's umbrella, Tony Khan's Ring of Honor. I thought they did a exceptional job of honoring Jay and did such a great job. And obviously, like I know this is a Ring of Honor show, but Tony bending over or getting bending over by what the fuck am I looking? The word I'm looking for, going like
working really hard
to
going
get
the extra mile.
Yeah, God, I can't. It's Monday. Going the extra mile to get the network to allow Mark to be on TV, especially this past Dynamite, which was really cool to see. So I think this is a really great first episode of, I guess you can say, of Ring of Honor under the Tony Khan umbrella.
Yeah, so I think one of the major takeaways for me is that they did show those old matches because originally when they said that this was going to be a tribute show, we really didn't know what was going to be on it. We knew that there were going to be live matches because, they recorded in that one day Dynamite Rampage and this tribute show. And I didn't think that they were going to show old matches until I was on Twitter right before I started watching it. And they're like, oh my God, they put Adam Cole versus Jay Briscoe from Final Battle 2014. I was like, yes, because that was an amazing match. But I thought the show was really good. And I tweeted this and I said, this was a show for every Ring of Honor fan. You had that old school Ring of Honor, like you mentioned, with the Kings of Wrestling and the Briscoes in 2006, kind of like 2010 era when the Briscoes were really starting to get hot and Ring of Honor was really getting noticed as a top company. And then you also had the newer Ring of Honor stars as well. And the other cool thing is there were 3 women's matches on this show. And for someone like me who was part of the rebranding of the women's division, this was really cool to see 3 women's matches. 3!
3.
That's
That's
huge.
more than what AEW puts on TV.
I know. I swear, someone I don't like in my heart I know Tony Khan was booking it, but I feel like there was a member of a kingdom who might have had a little hand in there too. Just saying.
I would love, yes. At the same time, I'm like, oh, or maybe Tony Khan's learning and maybe we're gonna transition it to AWTV, but I'm not holding my breath. But we'll see.
Well,
But
maybe. You never know. But I'm the host, Kyle. I have the rundown, not you.
I
Me.
stopped. I have no idea where we're going next. I couldn't think of anything else to say that because like it's true, and Maria most likely was the one behind that to book 3 women's matches there, and they're great women's matches. And if that's what like the woman we're gonna get on Ring of Honor, like this era of Ring of Honor, then hell yeah, man, they're gonna have a great division to start with.
Yeah, right they are. Because Thy Kingdom come all day, every day. But we're not talking about those matches yet, sadly. We will get there. But the first thing I want to talk about is you said the wrestlers who shared their thoughts on this tribute show. And I'm not going to go through every single one of them because there was a lot. And I feel like if we did do that, you could just watch the episode to watch it because I don't think I or Kyle could give it justice. But someone like Adam Cole, who not only gave his thoughts backstage, but also did like a story time of Adam Cole live in the ring, just talking about how he used to spend like the opening Sunday of football at the Briscoes' house, and they always used to take him in, and Austin Gunn doing the butterfly stitches on Jay's back because he thought that like Jay's whole back was like going to break because there was this
All
nasty
right.
cut on it.
Oof.
Then you had Matt Hardy talking about the legendary feud between the Briscoes and the Hardy Boys, and how when Matt and Jeff got to Ring of Honor, that was the one thing they wanted to do. They're like, please put us with the Briscoes. Please put us with the Briscoes. Like you said, Samoa Joe coming to tears. Seeing all of those people just give their thoughts and prayers to Jay and Mark, it really shows that the Briscoes had a legendary run of Ring of Honor. And I forgot, this might have been BJ Whitmer who said it, that every time it was around contract negotiations, they'd be like, we're not going anywhere. We love Ring of Honor and Ring of Honor loves us. We're never going to another company. And they didn't. They stayed
No.
honorable all throughout their 20
Ha.
years. I know, I'm so smart. So overall, what did you think of all the wrestlers who shared their thoughts and stories?
Yeah, like I say, it was emotional to say the least, especially like the ones that were crying. It was tough to watch. Even like Eddie Kingston bringing up like his run-ins with Jay, and even both Briscoes and him having a hard time talking about it. But it was nice. Like it was cool for them to share the memories of Jay and really show, I guess, everyone in the wrestling community and all the fans that how much of an impact this man not only had in Ring of Honor and for Ring of Honor, but in the lives of all these wrestlers. And, you know, like all these wrestlers to get where they are now, like eventually went almost, it's almost like the Briscoes were like a christening to like these men's like next step in their careers. They always had like a class, like it's always like, you ask these wrestlers like what classic matches you had in the past, and like they can list a list of top 10 maybe, and almost every single person is going to have a match in there against one of or both of the Briscoes, which is just shows you, even their family, like the family name and all the Briscoes in wrestling, like they are a royal name in professional wrestling, the Briscoes. So it was just nice to see the tributes to Jay and how much he actually meant to a lot of these guys and girls.
Ring of Honor, Ring of Honor Hall of Famers. That's for damn sure.
Do
But
they
the
have a Hall of
first
Fame?
they do, they made one in 2021.
Okay.
It's like end of 2021, early 2022, before Tony bought Ring of Honor.
Okay.
So they do. Brian Danielson is also a part of the Hall of Fame as well.
Okay.
And there's like 5 or 6 people. But the
I
Briscoes were one of the OGs.
I imagine Daniels too.
Not yet.
No. Oh. How is Christopher? How is Danielson in there and Christopher Daniels not? but
Not yet.
I guess like I know. Not, the first company. If you were to talk to a longtime wrestling fan who's like not following Christopher Daniels right now, if you ask them like, oh, what do you remember Christopher Daniels from? I'm gonna say if you ask 10 people, 8 or 9 of them are gonna say TNA Impact. So, but
Well, he talked about that actually in his like when he shared thoughts, like I was in Ring of Honor at this time and then I left and then I came back and then I was here and I was like, yes, you've been in and out of Ring of Honor many times, Christopher Daniels.
yeah. So I don't know. I don't know what Tony's going to constitute on what's Hall of Fame worthy, because now I believe he's kind of in charge of that. Like he gets to decide probably the final say on who actually enters the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame and who doesn't. So if Danielson's in there, I got to imagine it's someone who's made impact, which Daniels has, but someone who's made like a serious impact. Like, I know it would be tough and they would have to negotiate something with the Fed, but like Kevin Steen's got to be in the Ring of Honor Hall of Fame 100% eventually. Like that's like
And El
that's like a given.
Generico.
Yeah, and
And El
both of them. Yeah,
Generico's
that's right.
bestie.
AKA Sami Zayn, if anyone doesn't know.
No, El Generico, he's lost on an island somewhere, very far
Still
away.
there.
He's still there.
Yeah.
Hope, by the way, we recorded this 2 days after the Royal Rumble. Amazing end of the Royal Rumble with both of them and Sami Zayn finally doing the right thing and standing up for his best friend. Way to go, buddy. But we're not talking about that company. We are talking about my favorite title in Ring of Honor, which is not true. Because I don't know why we still have the pure title.
The 6-man title. Oh, okay.
No, actually, so if you want to hear 5 things that I want Ring of Honor to do once we start going on Honor Club, head to thepopbreak.com. I wrote a whole article about that, and my number 4 was get rid of the 6-man title.
Yeah, but it's held by a great champion like Brian Cage, though. He's going to elevate those titles.
No, here's my problem. There's no, if you look at the Ring of Honor roster, there's no trios teams there.
Yeah.
At the moment.
I think, well, who do you have?
So,
you have whatever Brian Cage's faction's called. I always forget.
The Embassy.
They got the Castle and the Boys. They have the Trust Busters, I guess you can say. I don't think they're going to be AEW. Trust Busters, I can see 100% going to be Ring of Honor. So that's like 3. I mean, you could sit there and hope for in the future to have more, but like, if you don't have like an established division, they can retire the belts and then bring them back, right? Or they can retire the belts and then
that's
you know what I mean. And then if
they
in the future
did that,
well, I don't know then.
I mean, Top Flight and AR Fox, they could too.
Be Ring
once
of Honor,
it gets going, but
that's tough.
I don't know.
I don't want Dante to go to Ring of Honor. I kind of want him to stay. Him and his brother both I'd want him to stay.
I mean, so do I.
Yeah, I guess we'll see what happens.
So do I. Yeah. But unless Tony Khan, he sees this show and he thinks I'm so smart and him and Maria are going to talk and then I get offered a contract, I can't do anything about it. Tony Khan, by the way. But like I said, we're talking about the Pure Championship. I love that title so much. I don't. I think they need to get rid of it. I think it's.
Oh, you hate it? I thought you said you love it.
Yeah. No, I hate it. Absolutely hate it. Like, I'm not a technical wrestling. No. Like, I'm not a technical wrestling fan, and these rules don't make sense. Just no. Like, I remember when Mike Bennett held it. Like, it was my first time seeing a pure titles match, and I looked at my dad and I said, I never want to see a pure rules match ever again. And then Daniel won the title, and I was like, well, I'm screwed.
What if they changed the rules? Like, what if they got rid of the rope break things? That's dumb. The tapping of the turnbuckle things? That's dumb. What if they got rid of that? What if they got
just 20 minutes?
But what if they made it 20 minutes, and maybe that title was always like a 2 out of 3 falls match, and you couldn't leave the ring or climb the turnbuckle. It's all in ring. Like, if you climb the turnbuckle or if you climb the rope or if you got out of the ring, automatic DQ.
I'd like that better.
Because then it's actually pure wrestling. Because you're not going to the top rope to do jumping moves. You're not going outside the ring for whatever reason. It's all in the ring no matter what. And it's 2 out of 3 falls, and it's all pure wrestling. I think that...
Again.
Yeah.
Tony Khan.
Yeah. So, I think if the rules were different, they could stay. The current rules I hate too. I'm with you there. Like, if they plan to keep the current rules for that title, get rid of it, because I don't think anyone actually buys it. I've never heard one person say they love the rules. So
I have.
Oh,
you want to know who? Jonathan Gresham.
Oh,
Look where
well,
he is.
yeah, well, there you go. Enough said.
He he sure is making his impact. But Wheeler Yuta
Wow.
defended his pure championship against I don't want to say his name wrong. Hagani Shino?
So, yeah, the guy that they have, I think I'm pretty sure he's from either New Japan or DDT. And he's been floating around dark having like unreal match. Then he had that match against Kenny, which was really good. Um, he looks promising. If they have their eye on him and want to sign him as a young free agent from Japan, I don't know actually how young he is, but
He's young.
he
He's
looks
like
good.
around my
He
age,
looks
I
good.
think.
I'm giving him props. I think if maybe they'll have him for Ring of Honor. If they sign him for Ring of Honor, that'd be a good signing. He's proven himself so far. So I bet you that's what Tony Khan's doing too. He's scouting a lot of these like AW Dark and like the sessions at Orlando and kind of scouting some talent for AW, but at the same time, like, okay, who can I sign for Ring of Honor as well? So, and you know, it'll be really cool. Who's actually been floating around Dark for the last couple of weeks now is Billy Starks. If they want to add her to the women's division for Ring of Honor, that would be super because I think she's pretty good so far.
Maria is very high on her. I know that. I know one of the last conversations Maria and I had, we talked about how good Billy Starks is. So she is definitely on Maria's radar. But for this match itself, because I'm going to get to Billy Starks, because it's a
Okay.
part of my one thing I want to see when Ring of Honor starts on Honor Club.
Oh,
I have a whole thing, a whole theory. I love it. I was so proud of myself at 1:30 in the morning when I came up with it. But
130.
I don't sleep. I'm sorry, I don't sleep. You want to know how I fit everything into my schedule? I don't sleep.
Wow. You need
But
sleep, child.
I know. Listen,
Take a nap.
it'll, I
After
didn't do
we're
that
done here,
today.
take a nap.
No, I have to watch Raw.
Oh,
At the
well, maybe. I know. Go ahead.
Listen, um, I like him. I like Shino. I think that, if you're having a dark match against Kenny Omega, I think Tony Khan definitely sees something in you. I think Wheeler Yuta, especially last year, had one of the more promising years, and I'm very excited to see what he does in 2023. But this match was really fun. It was a good way to hype the crowd up. It was a good opener, and I just think like these are very two talented people who I could definitely see fitting that Ring of Honor mold.
Now, Yuta,
Yes.
because he's part of the BCC, I don't know if they once they get that started, is he still Ring of Honor champion, or they drop it to someone that's actually going to be on the roster?
Well, I think the same thing you could kind of say for Daniel too.
Yeah, for a lot of titles
'Cause
that they have actually too, because Joe is a TV champion, which I don't know, maybe Joe's at a point in his career where he wouldn't mind just being on Ring of Honor, right? And Dynamite's not
Yeah,
really
well, Joe's interesting just because I know that one of the reasons he didn't want to re-sign with WWE is because WWE wouldn't want to clear him because he had like the concussion
yeah.
problem as
He's also
well.
a glass house. He gets injured a lot.
Yes, he does. So I could see why he would want to stay on the AEW roster because I think a lot of his friends were in both Ring of
Yeah.
Honor and AEW. But I think I think he's gonna drop the TV title at some point. Maybe back, but I don't think Wardlow goes to Ring of Honor. I think he's going to drop it to somebody else.
Yeah.
I just don't know who. But I think Joe for a little bit stays in AEW, and then like it's like the realm of Joe, and he comes out like maybe towards the middle of the year, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm back where I started." Samoa Joe's actually a Ring of Honor Hall of Famer too, I believe. Like back where I started, back where like my career, and he just like runs through everybody and has this really strong run.
Okay.
So for Wheeler, I don't know because, like I said, you could say the same thing for Daniel too. Like obviously Daniel's moved on from the pure title, but is there a chance that once he breaks away from JS, he goes down there? Does he stay in AEW? I don't really know, but I think for Wheeler, I think he's going to stay in AEW. I think they are very high on him, and I think he's going to drop the pure title to someone. Again, I have no idea who. I don't know the Ring of Honor roster.
Yeah.
This is my issue. I need Tony Khan.
I think once
Please.
they're getting established that they're going to be doing weekly shows, I think then we'll know the roster. Like it'll be on the like there's a website for Ring of Honor, so I think it'll be on there once it's
I need that
get
very
going.
badly.
Yeah.
Another match they did show, and I don't know how you didn't know that Jay Briscoe is a two-time Ring of Honor World
I had
Champion,
no
was
idea.
Yeah, I was there when he won the first time to, I believe it was Kevin Steen,
Oh.
actually. I believe it was. I was there live. But Jay Briscoe versus Adam Cole, final battle, 2014, and it's a no DQ, but Ring of Honor called it differently. It's an Honor No More match, I believe.
Oh.
It's something like that. It's
Yeah.
some phrase differently, but I don't think it's Honor No More because then why would Impact have their stable called that? Doesn't make sense. But this match was really good. Adam Cole and Jay Briscoe had an amazing rivalry in Ring of Honor. If you have not seen like any of the promos or maybe didn't even see this match, I highly recommend you go see it because this is before Adam Cole was even in his prime. Like you could see how much younger he looks, and
Oh
you could
yeah.
see like just how well he could wrestle in front of a crowd, how good he is at promos, and like I said, before he even hit his prime. And he's just great. Jay winning the title and just the reaction. I will never not find it funny when Adam Cole stapled the piece of paper to Jay Briscoe's head and had the rainbow thumbtacks.
All
That
right.
was also really funny. And this was just an amazing match. If you're gonna watch any match on the card, I really do recommend this one. But what did you think going back in time to Final Battle 2014?
Those are cool. Like the flashbacks. Even now, and I again, like I was so shocked that he was even a world champion. I swear, I thought he was just tag team champions and that was it. But crazy to see that he like did Mark was Mark ever a world champion? No, it was just Jay. Wow. Okay. And then that match ended up being really good. I'm like, damn, like why haven't I seen this match? And you're right, like Adam Cole to see like, even past footage of him, like this is pre NXT Adam Cole against Jay
Pre
Briscoe.
Bullet Club.
Yeah, that
Pre
too.
Bullet
Yeah,
Club.
this was a very early Adam Cole. So it was just really cool to watch. Like all the old footage was so much fun to watch. And um I know Tony Khan stayed in the past that like once like Ring of Honor gets going, there's not going to be any flip flop throughout the roster. It would be really cool if one time like Adam Cole appeared on Ring of Honor as like a one time thing. I think that would be pretty cool for history and for nostalgia. If he just maybe if he wrestled like one match at a pay per view, you know what I mean? I think that would be really cool. But to watch that back, it's crazy the type I wasn't expecting that good of a match. Was not expecting how good that match was. It was more than I was expected, and I was glad that was on the tribute video.
I feel like I've seen it before. There's no way I know I wasn't there because that was right after they actually stopped running in Hammerstein for a little bit and they went to another part of New York that it was way too expensive for us to go to. But it was not my first time watching it. I was like, damn, I forgot how great this was. But Caprice, to your point about Adam Cole going to Ring of Honor, I believe it was Caprice Coleman who said it on commentary when Adam Cole did his like story time with Adam Cole segment where he was like, that red and black just looks so good on him. Him being in that Ring of Honor ring just it feels so good, it looks so good because that's Adam Cole. And if you got, like I said, like Adam Cole pre Bullet Club, pre NXT, like this is when he was just known for being in the Kingdom.
Yeah.
Before, like, it's Bennett, Taven, Maria, and Cole. And that was your top faction Ring of Honor in 2013, 2014. That was the faction, not the Bullet Club. It was the Kingdom. But it's true.
I know. Yeah.
Well, speaking of the kingdom, because we're going to talk about Maria's women's division, because that's just what I'm going to call it until someone tells me that Maria's not in charge of the women's division.
Are they going to call it
So,
the Maria's Women's Division?
you know what? I'm going to make it a segment on Honor POV,
Yeah.
Maria's women's division. Because you know what? She's my mentor, and I can do
The
that. Like
Maria Kanellis Women's Division of Ring of Honor. Of
the
Honor.
Maria Kanellis Bennett women's
Oh,
division of
sorry.
Honor.
I apologize. Didn't get the
Yes.
hyphen.
Yeah, she gets very upset. You have to say
Oh.
the full name, Maria Kanellis hyphen Bennett. She's the first woman of professional wrestling, Kyle. Jesus. Anyway. We saw Marina Shafir, who commentary alluded to, requested to be on the show because of her husband Roderick Strong, his very close relationship with the Briscoes. They are very close family friends. Against Mighty Myra, who was just like a local indie talent, but she had a really good showing in this match. Marina looked really good. I have not seen because I don't really watch Dark that often unless like someone suggests the match to me. So I haven't seen Marina on Dark, but she looked really good. And I was like, this is where she fits. So I think whenever we split this roster, Marina needs to go to Ring of Honor. I think she fits there. I think her and Athena feud would be really good as well. And you could just tell like how emotional she was because, like I said, the Briscoes and the Strongs are very close family friends in real life. But what did you think of the 1 out of 3 women's matches?
It was interesting because I was wondering why Maria Shafir was coming out, right? And I was going, well, this is kind of odd. But then they explained it, and I'm like, okay, well now it makes sense. Against just jobbing to or the jobber getting jobbed to Maria Shafir, Mighty
Myra.
Myra. I thought maybe she was gonna be like someone that used to be in Ring of Honor, and I guess not. So, it was good though. I think you're right. I think I'd like to see Shafir in Ring of Honor. I think that'd be a good place for her to go, women's division wise, and I think they could utilize her to the best of her abilities in there. And I would love to see even Marina go up against like a Mercedes Martinez eventually in the future too. That'd be really cool.
I was surprised that she wasn't on this show, but I'm not going to hold it against them because a lot of the talent that you did see on this show, they had 24 hours to fly them out.
Yeah.
And they tried their hardest. So I'm not going to hold anything to Ring of Honor and Tony Khan because they did what they had to do. But another match we got to see is Elite POV's favorite wrestler, QT Marshall,
Oh
against
yeah.
Eddie Kingston. I know Ant was so excited.
Oh,
So he's like,
he
thank
was
God QT
overjoyed.
made it.
Yeah.
Well, he did yell at Bobby Cruz to call him a Ring of Honor legend. He's not a Ring of Honor legend. He was in Ring
Yeah,
of
that was
Honor, but
weird. I knew that was like
not
all heel work.
not thank you all for yelling outside my room. Not legendary status. But just to see Eddie, I mean, he's just a very emotional human being. So you knew that this was going to be very, very emotional. Obviously, he was one of the wrestlers that gave thoughts. But this was good. I mean, they were playing with the crowd a little bit, and then, they had the fans hold him back, and then Kingston was chopping Marshall, and then when Marshall tried to do the same thing, they were like, no, we're not helping you. So that was fun. But this was overall fun, and they held the sign that was like "Reach for the sky." Rest in peace, Jay Briscoe. What'd you think?
uh, it was a good like a an entertainment match for the crowd, especially QT. QT's that he's a spot guy that's gonna have like entertaining matches, and I guarantee you he's gonna be the guy that they use in their live events, AEW, when they get that going for like because live events are more on the entertainment side, regardless of what company you're in. Any untelevised thing, they it's a lot more crowd related. But it was again, like you said, it was emotional for Eddie Kingston. You could tell on his face being close to the Briscoes throughout his career. So, cool way to do that. Even with the sign, which I found out today what "Reach for the Sky" means and where they got that from, which is crazy. I didn't know. The Toy Story was Jay's favorite movie, and I guess he used to get emotional every time you watch that movie. So that's why that's why they say it. And I'm like, oh man, that is so cool. I did not know that, and that was really cool to learn. But yeah, great match though. Our fun match. It's like I can say fun match.
Yes, we can use the word "fun" on Honor POV. You know what else was fun? The second women's match, because it was
Two. Stop it.
two,
There's no way.
two.
That is
There
no.
was two.
How?
And did you know there's one right after this?
Stop. You're lying to me.
No,
Three
I'm
women's
not.
matches on one show. What is this? That doesn't sound right.
Well, for this one, we're gonna get to your favorite women's wrestler next, but for this match, it was Athena versus Madison Rain. This was a Ring of Honor Women's Championship match. I didn't know why this wasn't just like a contenders, like how they do, like they versus a
Yeah.
champion, and if they beat
The
the champion,
title
the
eliminator match. That's what those are called.
yeah.
Yes.
I don't know why this wasn't just one of those, but again, I'm not booking Ring of Honor yet. This was good. I think Athena's heel turn has been the best thing for her career. I think this is something she definitely wanted to do in NXT and WWE, and they just didn't let her do it. And to see her just come into her own and do exactly what she wants to do is fantastic. I thought Madison looked really good in this match and better than she has in a lot of her AEW matches. So I don't know if maybe it was because it was a tribute show that motivated her a little bit more, or maybe just because she's gotten better in the ring. Either way, this was fun, really good matchup. And again, Athena versus Sakazaki at what I believe is going to be Supercard of Honor is going to be outstanding. But what did you think of, again, your other favorite wrestler, Madison Rain, versus Athena?
What?
I'm joking.
Okay. I thought you were like real. I'm like, no, there's no way. But it's cool to have like a women's world title match. Athena has been proving to be a really good women's world champion, and like I don't think was she ever NXT Women's Champion? I don't remember.
She was.
She was. Okay, so she was a former world champion. So she's got the, she can carry a world title on her back kind of thing. And I'm loving this whole heel run of hers too. Is really cool. But yeah, again, another, I mean, it's a Ring of Honor tribute show, so you're going to have Ring of Honor matches. So you're going to have the women's world title match there, facing Madison Rayne, who's been in this industry for a long time. So I imagine that I can't remember the commentary mostly for this. I want to say that she knew the Briscoes in some way, and she had history with them. So why she was chosen for this match. And then, yeah, Athena's going to face, I love watching Yuka. Yuka's hilarious and is slowly gaining more popularity with the AEW crowd. So cool to see her to cross over into Ring of Honor and have a championship match with Athena. And then she has a match with, I don't even know what her first name. Moon is the last name?
Sandra Moon.
Sandra Moon.
Sandra Moon.
Is Sandra Moon from Ring of Honor? No?
No.
Okay.
No. She was another
local competitor.
Local talent.
Someone who was backstage, you got ring boots? Yeah, okay, get out there.
I thought this was fun. I think Yuka in Ring of Honor, it fits. And if is she signed? I don't think she is.
I don't remember she's got an all elite graphic. I want to say she does. I literally want to say that she does. But you go on talk about the match because I'll find out.
Okay. This was really good. I think, like Kyle said, she has such a good fan base, and I think with her appearing on Dark more and hinting at the fact that she wants to wrestle Athena has definitely helped her out a little bit because she is a baby face, her just dancing with the crowd. And I mean, Kyle loves her theme song all the time. And I think and then the video went viral of the guy dancing to her theme song. It was like on Twitter for like 2 days after the tribute show. So she's over. So I think this is the perfect match to have at Supercard of Honor because it's a really, really good babyface versus a super mega heel. And I don't think Yuka's gonna win at Supercard of Honor because I think Athena needs to hold that title for a really long time. But it's gonna be fun either way. And to add on to like what Kyle was saying about how Athena could hold a world title, she was also NXT Tag Team Champion as well.
So
with Shotzi.
This is a tweet from Fightful on February 7th, 2019.
Oh, God.
Yuka Sakazaki and Aja Kong are all elite. So don't know if the contract ran out and they didn't re-sign her or what's up with her.
Well, I mean, COVID too.
Yeah.
Right. So does that have something to do? Maybe I'm making things up.
COVID?
No, because I'm talking about like how like she couldn't come here because of COVID for like a year.
Yeah.
So maybe like that year went over, so now it doesn't expire till like this year or next year,
okay,
and
so
they just carried it
Wikipedia
over.
has her signed to Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. So, and is also signed to All Elite Wrestling. That's what our Wikipedia says. So she's signed to both.
So she's signed. Cool. Welcome. Well, someone else who was recently signed to AEW and has had stacking losses, but finally got a win is Juice Robinson because he wrestled.
Big win here.
Out of all people, Brandon Cutler.
Oh, tough competitor Brandon Cutler is.
No, I will say Brandon looked really good in this match. And I wrote this in my review on the Pop Break. I said, like, I don't know why Brandon doesn't wrestle more often, but I thought he did a really good job here. And I thought it was a fun match, but I just don't understand why Juice keeps on losing. Like, why?
I don't know either. I couldn't figure out why he's getting the jobber role. Like, doesn't really make sense. I thought he'd be coming in here and being pushed like mid-card level, right? But maybe he's coming here and he's going to be part of Ring of Honor.
That's what I'm thinking, because I really thought when he versed Joe for the TV title, I'm like, oh, he's going to win. It makes sense. Like, he's going to get a title because he was so over in Japan and cutting those amazing promos as a part of the Bullet Club, and he was New Japan US champion. I was there when he won that title. So I was kind of shocked that he keeps on losing. I'm like, damn, why'd he sign if he's going to keep on losing?
Yeah, I have no idea. It's been weirding me out for the longest time, too, because every time I see him on TV, I'm like, oh, maybe he'll get his win this time. But, of course, he's facing Brandon Cutler. I'm like, oh, that's kind of mean. They're giving his first win against a guy named Brandon Cutler. Of all people, Brandon Cutler. And I don't know. It's just, Juice Robinson, of all people, to go on this losing streak and after being signed, I don't know. It's just to me, it's extremely strange. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. But what? Look at this. You got a big win against Brandon Cutler. Good for him. Sad for Brandon, but good for Juice getting a big dub.
Finally. I guess the one thing I would have rather seen, like, the Young Bucks wrestling. Like, I know they
Yeah,
wrestled earlier in the night, but I would have rather seen, like, the Young Bucks versus Juice Robinson and somebody else
it's.
than,
I think it's a
no
load
offense
man.
to Brandon
Yeah.
Cutler, but
I want to say the Young
sense.
Bucks. I know like Tony Khan is a sports guy, and he knows about load management, and he knows not to overwork talent because of that. So my assumption is Young Bucks being like one of his best tag teams right now and current trios champion. You don't want to overwork them, and even if it's a tribute show, you don't want to have them go out there and then that's injury for them, and he probably has this big storyline maybe written now if when Kenny clears his visa issues for the trios titles. So yes, and I see it, and also I understand why they probably were kept off from a match. I think Young Bucks are going to be like are going to be like Adam Cole, where they're brought into Ring of Honor when it gets going eventually, just to have that nostalgic match, because obviously the Young Bucks were a big part. Like Ring of Honor was a massive part of their careers, even when after they joined the Bullet Club, even before that too. So it's not going to be that they're never going to appear on Ring of Honor. It's going to be in the future like Adam Cole. It'll be like a nostalgia match.
The only reason I feel like that's not it is because Jay Lethal wrestled the tribute match and then wrestled 20 minutes later on Rampage.
But I mean, Jay Lethal, Young Bucks.
Wow.
I
I'll have you
just
know,
saying
Jay.
the level of there of the where Tony Khan has the scales. Just saying. I'm gonna
Listen,
say the Young Bucks do get paid more than Jay Lethal, so you're gonna protect your highest paid people first.
I mean, the Young Bucks have two jobs. Jay
Two
Lethal only has
contracts.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
Brandon Cutler also two
yeah, two
contracts.
contract Cutler. Yeah, and he's got the BT stuff too. So I mean, if I'm in Tony Khan's shoes, I'm protecting Young Bucks over Jay Lethal. I'm just saying, if Jay Lethal wants to go out there and wrestle 2 matches, hey, by all means, get out there, son. The Young Bucks want to do it? Nope. Got plans? Can't. I know it's a tribute show, but you can. Did they give them? I don't remember. Did they give them time to say stuff back?
No.
So that's probably why they did all their thing. What they did on BT this week and last week. Like the Young Bucks said a bunch
Yeah.
of stuff last week on BT, and then this week was dedicated all to Jay. So that was probably their way of doing it, which is really cool because BT is a very much watched platform. So
It won Vlog of the Year for Fightful.
hey, those awards are so cool. You know
I
what?
know.
I strive that Elite POV one day is big enough that we can make awards and send them to the wrestlers, and then they take pictures with them. One day.
One day.
Yeah.
One day
One day there'll
soon.
be Honor POV awards, and we can hand them out to the Ring of Honor people.
Guys, one day I'll be working for Ring of Honor and you'll be giving me an Honor POV award for
Yeah.
best commentator.
For
And
best
then you're gonna
headband.
it's a
Sorry,
bandana.
best bandana. I couldn't tell what the hell that was.
It's a bandana. It's
Oh,
been
there
a
you go.
long day. Well, our main event, which was very fitting for a lot of reasons, was Claudio Castagnoli versus Christopher Daniels in a
Hey.
Ring of Honor World Championship. These are two OG Ring of Honor talents, and I thought this was so fitting because obviously, like we talked about, the Briscoes stayed in Ring of Honor. You know, they were dedicated until Ring of Honor closed their doors. They did their little loops on the indie scene. They did GCW. They did Impact and they did a lot of other indies before they signed to this Ring of Honor under Tony Khan's umbrella. But having two OG Ring of Honor superstars wrestling on this tribute show was just very fitting. This match was really fun. I mean, I know a lot of people were like, why Christopher Daniels? Again, Christopher Daniels, OG, first show, people. Like,
Yeah.
come on, Fallen Angel. He meant something. Again, they showed his match
Yep.
against Jay from Fight for the Fallen. I think it was Death Before Dishonor 2016. if I remember
I
correctly.
can't
That was the
remember.
show.
Fight for the fall.
Because I was like, for the fall, and I'm like, that wasn't the show. That wasn't it. But this match was fun. I mean, nothing really big was going to happen on the show because obviously the main thing was it was a tribute show. There wasn't going to be like title changes or like 5-star matchups. But for what it needed to get done, this match was really good. Did you think the same thing?
What do you think of Claudio's little like crab dance he does at the start of the
I
stage
don't
now?
like it.
It's funny when when Wheeler's there too. I think it's funny as hell.
I think it's dumb. I'm
but
like, why?
but two guys like long term. I mean, not probably not as long, but two guys that have been in Ring of Honor like way back in the beginning, like when the start of their careers. It was cool to see this as their world title match. And what a way to do it. That was fantastic. And even like this past Dynamite when they had Jay Lethal take on Mark Briscoe, which is really cool and fitting as well. So this is another fitting match to end off a tribute show to have Claudio Castagnoli and Christopher Daniels go at it. Ring of Honor world title on the line, like you said. We weren't going to get title changes. It was more of a tribute aspect to Jay and Ring of Honor itself too. So what a way to do it. And it was a good match. You know what? Claudio, I mean, Christopher Daniels for his age to still have matches the way he's doing because his body's a little bit more banged up than Claudio. Claudio's obviously still in phenomenal shape and it can still go. They still had a great match. And it was more, pun intended, it was more of an honor aspect than anything else, this world title match. So, but it was cool. I'm glad they picked these two for the main event.
His poor eye.
Yeah.
Like that's why I was like pointing at my eye. His eye is still like
Yeah.
black.
I always keep thinking,
Like,
is that fake? I'm like,
no,
does he
it's
keep
not.
putting like a contact
No,
in?
no, it's 100% real. And actually, when we talked about it on K2, I was on a podcast with Bill, and I was like, Bill, Kyle wants, and we said it live. I'm like, Kyle wants to know if it's fake. And Bill looked into the camera and said, Kyle, it's 100% real.
So he's like, does he see red all the time?
I
Out of
don't
his
know.
I want because that would drive me nuts if like if I was only seeing red out of one eye all the time, that would drive me up the wall.
Okay, listen, I'm potentially going to see him March 11th.
So you ask
So
him
I'll ask him. I got you.
and get back to me.
Okay, I will. But how we're going to end this, because obviously we're not fully on Honor Club yet. We did not start the TV show. But I want to know one thing you want to see Ring of Honor do when Honor Club starts, like production wise, talent, anything. What do you want to see?
I don't. So it's good. Not really a two-part, but how am I gonna word this? I don't want them to be a taped show after a Dynamite. I want it to look unique to its own. I don't want it to feel AEW-esque. Like if they taped Ring of Honor weekly, like after Dynamite, it would still feel like AEW because of the production and the way it looks. I think if you're gonna do this right, you somehow find your way to get a studio of some sort, or you book the rights to that Universal slot that you can record a bunch of episodes in, and you do it from there. You get a new stage, a brand new looking stage. Whether you give Ring of Honor, it would be cool if they gave Ring of Honor the tunnels. You know what I mean? That would be really cool because I know everyone loves the tunnels and they were flipping out when the tunnels were gone, whatever. But have it can't look anywhere like AEW. You can maybe do some sort of a similar like camera and stuff, or maybe like the older cameras that you got rid of for AEW you can give to Ring of Honor and they can use. It's got to look different. It's got to look completely different. It's got to feel different. The way you do the backstage interviews, the way you present the matches, it's got to feel like Ring of Honor used to, and whatever you want to add to it. It can't feel like AEW whatsoever, and it can't be filmed after Dynamites or Rampage or whatnot. It's got to be a whole completely different look. So that's what I want.
So I don't think it's gonna be filmed after Dynamite. I think they are gonna make it separate, and I think they are gonna rent out that Universal Studio because I think it just makes sense from just a timing standpoint. Can you imagine if they filmed Dynamite, Ring of Honor, and Rampage, and then an hour of Dark beforehand?
I would assume they would stop. If they would stop doing Dark and just do Dark full time at Universal, and that's where you're getting your Dark matches. Like Dark's always going to be at Universal. They're going to do a whole weekend's worth of tapings, and that's going to be Dark for like the next month and a half to 2 months, and then they're just going to do it again in 2 months. You know what I mean? But I'm leaning to what you said too. I think it's for sure going to be out of that Universal thing. But again, you change and make it look different. Make it look completely different. Don't even make it look completely different what you have now with Dark. It's got to look different. It's got to look completely different. It's got to feel different. And it's, you know what, I'm a fan of the studio shows that lead up until pay-per-views. That's what I was a big fan of when I was watching NXT, and I was a hardcore NXT mark. I was the atmosphere and the feel of those like studio shows, and then the payoff when you got to the takeovers and they're the big arenas with the big crowd. It felt that much more. Like if Tony Khan takes that model and puts it into Ring of Honor, it can be very, very successful. And you're gonna get that fan base. Like if you're gonna book it the same way NXT used to book, you'll get the fan base, and you'll get enough fan base to have that you can book the bigger arenas and get those types of crowds. And at the same time, you're gonna have to get the talent names as well. It's not just gonna be you're gonna sign the mid-level guys and that's gonna be it for Ring of Honor. You're gonna need to once in a while bring in a top name signed to the company, which, you know, that's where it's going to be very tough, I think, for Tony Khan running both, right? If a top name free agent's out there, I think that it's tough for him that he's going to have to figure out, is it top enough for AEW or is it top enough for Ring of Honor? And I know he doesn't want one to be, like, I think AEW is always going to be his number one because that's what he started with, and Ring of Honor is going to be right there, but he wants to present Ring of Honor as a top as AEW. You know what I mean? So it's going to be very, very tough to see how he books it going forward. But if you're going to want, again, to book it the same way and to get that type of fan base, you're going to need to sign some big talents. I guess that's 2 in 1 there for me.
I think the one thing that's like been honed to Ring of Honor is the steps in the entrance. Like that's something that they've had at mostly every single show. It's something that they even do now. So I think you have to include the steps just for like the nostalgia purpose.
Oh, I know
I
what you mean.
think,
Yeah.
yeah, the little like 3-step
Yeah.
type thing.
So
Yeah.
I always found that weird. I don't know why.
I like it. I feel like it adds like a dramatic because then you could just stand on the top step and like take in like all the cheers and the boos. I feel like it's like it
It's
means something.
yeah.
And I think too, because Ring of Honor always used to have the streamers, and this is another thing I talked about in my article. It was an honorable mention because every Ring of Honor
Ah.
show, like they used to have streamers that you throw. So then you're on top of the step, and then everyone's
Mm.
throwing streamers at you. That's actually my fondest memories of my dad is going to Party City right before Final Battle and just buying like $10 worth of streamers. So please bring back the streamers. I'm a fan. I've loved them since I was 10. Bring them back. But I think about the talent, like you said, is right. Is you have to decide like who's going where, and I don't think Tony's gonna book Ring of Honor. I think he's gonna bring in a Ring of Honor alum, whether that be Joe, whether that be BJ Whitmer, because he's been a backstage hand since day one.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you do have Maria do the women's division, I don't think TK is gonna be directly. He's gonna be directly involved in both, but not like so heavy in Ring of Honor. I think his main focus is going to be AEW. Jesus, I'm choking and dying. I've done I've
I
done
thought I
3
thought you meant like
podcasts
we're
today.
gonna bring in Jesus and he's gonna save the world and he's gonna save Ring of Honor. Jesus
No,
Christ is the answer. Okay.
I'm the answer.
Okay.
The answer is me. But the thing that I want, and this goes into Billy Starks, is oh so long ago, there used to be this thing called the Ring of Honor Prospect Tournament.
Oh.
It used to be an 8-person tournament, and the winner would get a Ring of Honor contract.
Oh.
Some of the people that have won this have included Mike Bennett, Matt Taven, Leo Rush, Roosh, a lot of people who have been very known names in Ring of Honor. So since there's so much independent wrestling out there, I think they should bring back the prospect tournament. I think that there's enough independent talent out there that you can bring a men's tournament and a women's tournament. And I actually have Billy Starks winning my women's prospect tournament to get a contract. I know she's graduating high school this year, so I know she's eligible. And my men's was a little hard because obviously I would have Nick Wayne win, but he's already signed, so I can't have that. So I don't know if he's signed because Bill and I looked it up and we had mixed reports. I would have Blake Christian win my men's prospect.
Nice. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has Blake Christian like or he's going to have signed to Ring of Honor. I know he's really high on him. So, and I would be too because that guy is exceptional. And yeah, I'd have those are 2 perfect winners, I think, for that tournament if they bring that back. It just makes the most sense out of all like the talent that we've seen coming into Dark and Dark Elevation that could be prospects for Ring of Honor. couldn't have picked two better names too. There's a lot out there that have come in and out. But Blake Christian and Billy Starks have really kind of proven themselves. So
I did a full 8. I don't remember all 8, but I did a 8 for the men, 8 for the women, and I was like, Bill, here's the whole thing, and he goes, okay, you didn't have to go that far. I just asked you to name a couple, and I said, no, we got the whole tournament. Here we go. Just give this to Tony Khan. Here you go. I'll do the full thing. But yeah, so that's pretty much all we got so far. For Honor POV. So the one thing I will say is obviously Supercard of Honor. I am going to California,
oh
but
oh
I'm unfortunately not attending Supercard of Honor at this moment
oh
because WrestleCon session 2, yeah, 2 is taking place the same exact time as Supercard of Honor, and I actually have to work WrestleCon. So as of right
ah
now, I know, I cried. There was actual tears. I cried
oh
my eyes
no.
out. I was very upset. So a lot of things can change between January 30th of this recording and obviously March 31st. But if I do get to go, I'm gonna vlog and do some stuff. I'm gonna vlog in California anyway, because obviously there's a lot of wrestling going on. But in terms of that show particularly, we're gonna have to probably delay a review because I have to watch it
Well, yeah.
after I get back and the tiredness goes away. Because
Yeah,
WrestleMania week kills you as an employee.
can confirm. I was a
Yes.
wrestling fan / alcoholic that weekend I went for WrestleMania. So
Damn.
yeah. It was New
Good.
Orleans.
Okay, but I'm not going to New Orleans. I'm
I
going to
know, but I'm
California.
just
I
saying,
went
like,
to
I can attest to how I was exhausted, especially because I drove 23 straight hours back home after, so it was rough.
yeah, I don't know how you did that. Like this flight's gonna kill me to California. This 6-hour flight.
Oh,
No way.
you'll be all right. You'll be okay.
I don't.
I flew
I don't
4 hours
think.
to Phoenix. I was fine. You'll be all right.
No, I'm not. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining Kyle and I. Like I said, I don't know who's gonna be my co-host. It's kind of probably gonna be like a surprise of like, and the co-host this week is dun, 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 dun,
That's
whoever.
why I have it listed as co-host chair.
I hope you're on this side of me that I'm pointing.
No,
Are you
wrong
on this
side.
side? God
Yep.
damn it.
There.
He's on this side. Yay. So yeah, so thank you all for watching. There are going to be more of this. I'm really excited that I'm hosting this show. Again, this is mainly why I was born in for Elite POV, is because I'm very knowledgeable on Ring of Honor. I've been a fan since 2010, and I've been through the ups and downs of this company, and thankfully Tony Khan bought it. But yeah, so look for more episodes of Honor POV, and remember to reach for the sky, boys.